So I just came across a TikTok that said that in 2 months, 2020 will be 3 years ago, and 2019 will be 4 years ago. Let that sink in. Where has the time gone? Anyways, hi friends, welcome back. I have green tea here today because it's getting colder and time is moving so much faster. Yeah, I feel like the years have pretty much blended together since 2020 of COVID, because it's crazy that it's November right now and we're 2 months away from the end of 2022. This is usually the time where people are starting to reflect on their end of the year goals. I wanted to share with you pretty much a method that I've been doing to reflect and refocus every month. And since I've been back from traveling with Chicago and New York for the past 2 months, I've got to refocus on some of the goals that I have. And I wanted to share with you some of the strategies that I've been doing. So when I reflect on my goals, I usually choose 5 areas that I want to reflect on, because sometimes if there's not really a structure, it's really hard to kind of say, that was a good year. So I usually try to split it into 5 different categories. You can also choose to do your own, but these are the 5 categories that I choose to look on at every single month. My first category is personal finance. The second one is YouTube and creator goals. My third one is health and fitness. My fourth one is travel and fun. And then my last one is personal relationships and development. Personal finance is important because as I get older, no one really tells you how to manage your money. It's not taught in schools, and I don't know why. But yeah, it's been pretty prevalent now that I'm in my 20s. Like once I get my paycheck, what do I do with it? How do I invest? How do I save? And how do I build net worth from there? And so that's been a pretty fun topic for me to do, and it's been one of my primary aspects of when I reflect at the end of every month. YouTube and creator goals. YouTube has been a big project for me this year. I'm still experimenting, which is really fun for me. My third one is health and fitness. So I've been trying to take better care of my body, both physically and mentally. It's been definitely a struggle post-grad, trying to navigate life mentally, and then also try to keep my health up since I've been working pretty much remote. So gymming and stuff, that has been a big area of interest that I have as well. My fourth one is travel and fun. I think it's really important to also live your life, and for me, travel has been one of those things I've been always wanting to do pretty much ever since I graduated. So I made it a main priority this year to kind of do some traveling and also go to some events. My fifth one is personal relationships and development. It may be mentioned last, but it's honestly the most important on the list. Am I spending enough time with my parents? Am I spending time enough with my friends and my partner? And I think relationships are so important, and it should be on a top priority list that I reflect on pretty much every month. Once I have the what am I reflecting about, now it's how do I reflect on it? So each of the 5 categories have different measurements. So for example, for my personal finances, I look at my investments, my savings, my checking, also my debt, kind of calculate basically my net worth and if I'm growing over time. For YouTube, it's how many videos am I making? Am I growing in subscriber accounts? My third one is health and fitness. So, my body weight, how much I'm bench pressing, how much I'm squatting. For travel and fun goals, it's, am I traveling places every month? Did I hit the cities that I wanted to go to? And the fifth one for personal relationships, it's not really a measurement. It's just kind of rating myself. Am I, having a social life? Am I spending enough time with my friends and family? And I kind of just base off of that, like yes, no, or like I should probably be doing more. And that's kind of how I structure and measure those out. Why is it important to kind of reflect and also understand how to reflect on these things is because I personally want to kind of keep track of my progress and if I'm improving or if anything needs to be changed. I can't do stuff without structure, so that's why it's super important to me to have this kind of structure and organizations of the 5 areas that I want to reflect on every month. Why I reflect too is because I want to be able to kind of refocus to make sure I'm on the path that I'm at. So which brings me up to my next topic, which is refocusing. What is refocusing? For me, that basically means taking a step back, looking at, am I improving in the 5 areas that I'm not? I get distracted often. Life happens, How I refocus is there's 2 ways I can go about it. I can either 1, do nothing and just keep going if things are going great and there's little progress being made, or 2, make some changes and just, steer me back on the same path. If I can make an analogy or pretty much a visual example is if I set a goal for myself from point A to point B, probably steer off path when I get distracted. And when I refocus, it puts me back on the same path. So that's why I usually do a lot of reflecting and refocusing at the end as well. Here's an example that I did at the end of October. So for personal finance, I have a goal of reaching this certain number. And from the months of August, September, October, I can see my net worth growing slightly thanks to my investments, but it's not growing as fast as I want. So I decided to change some areas because I was traveling a lot, which means my spending was out of control. So Brian needs to, chill with the spending and focus more on the saving. So I increased the amount that was into my savings account and also learning to make better investments. But hey, I had to refocus and I had to change. So it's always, important to do that. And as long as you're happy of where you're going, I think it's important to just, do that refocusing part. Don't burn yourself out. Remember that progress takes some time. The reason why I do a lot of reflecting and refocusing is because I want to focus more on the progress rather than the result. As long as I'm making just a little bit of progress, yeah, I'm happy with that. So there's 2 months left of 2022. If there are things you want to, do, and there's some goals that you're still trying to strive for, go ahead and do it. Just reflect and then refocus. If you're going, you're not where you want to be, that's totally fine. Just get back onto path, make some changes. So yeah, I wanted to make that video. Hopefully it helps you out. I am also going to be doing some changes into my life. Make sure everyone get some hoodies, get your blankets, get a heater. It's getting cold. We're getting into November, so sweater weather, here we go. If you like the video, please put a thumbs up in the bottom. It definitely helps me out. And if you want to just, come along for the journey, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.